I had a couple of days off. I didn't play tennis last 2 days because I really needed that. And today, kind of an easier way to start the practice week with my sparring partner, and just feeling the court, getting used to the conditions here, and I have another four quality days of practice points and practice sets with other players, and then in the following days, and obviously Kids Day coming up and a lot of different things in the city, and just kind of collecting the vibe and the energy as much as possible from New York City. It doesn't get better than that, in terms of cities giving you energy. New York is right up there on top of the list in the world, so hopefully I can use that energy for the next few weeks.
Novak, will you plan your practices for the next few days to, where you take it up a couple of days, more like Thursday, Friday, and then wind down towards the weekend?
Yeah, congrats, Brad. I've seen you half an hour ago, but well done for you and Coco on your win in Cincinnati.
See, it must have been that Monday indoor hit when we were hitting next to each other that had the good mojo.
I agree. It was all about that indoor hit. Super lightning speed courts indoor there in Cincinnati allowed us to get the trophies in the end of the week. But look, it really always depends on how I play in the week before the practice week. The tournament in Cincinnati obviously went all the way through for me. So and I had a grueling almost 4 hour match against Carlos. So I've spoken to my team. I actually had some practice sessions arranged for Tuesday already with some players, like some practice sets, but we decided to modify the schedule to change things around because I felt like I needed some time off. Played some golf in New Jersey, went around the city, just enjoyed myself and spent some time with my team, and I'm ready to go. Today, as I said, I'll have a kind of a lighter hit. Just feeling the center court. I think getting as much as time on the center court as possible. Really, that's my goal, and just preserving my energy and working on some specifics, because I had enough matches. I think in Cincinnati, I feel like I'm not lacking match play. I just need to do more of the recovery and some physical adjustments, and best of 5 coming up, potentially, hopefully 7 matches in 2 weeks, and I'm going to get ready for it.
Novak, at this time of the tournament, this practice week for the top players, we often hear how the court is playing. Is it faster? Is it slower? What are you feeling with the different balls, especially for the women changing the balls? How much time do you need on a court to tell how it's playing?
I already can feel it.
What do you feel?
It's been a couple of minutes, but I can actually feel that the balls are slower than in Cincinnati. They definitely are more, fluffier, and they have more hair on them. Maybe it's just the beginning of the hit, but I feel like they're slightly more deflated than Cincinnati. In Cincinnati, I felt like the balls were flying like bullets, and they were very much alive. So there was very bouncy conditions, very quick, very difficult to control. It seems like it's bouncing less here. I think that it could be that the court is slightly faster in terms of the surface here than it is maybe in Cincinnati, because I can feel that the ball kind of skids through the court, but the balls are different. I mean, what I'm feeling right now in this 5 minutes than Cincinnati, they're a bit slower.
Novak, Alexander Stevenson here. Hi, how are you?
Hello, I'm good, thank you.
Great. So when you have your first practice, do you bring out different tensions to your string, or do you just pick one tension and go with it for the whole practice?
That's a very good question. I actually string my strings very tightly. It's 28.5, 27.5 kilograms. I'm sorry, I don't know what's that in pounds, but I string
60, right?
Yeah. I string actually mostly. I string 28.5, 27.5, and 29, 28. Those are kind of the two tensions that I'm looking for, and I would adjust them depending on obviously the speed of the court. Sometimes I would maybe take it half a kilo down, even less, but 28, 27, but never under that, as I'm, kind of a player that likes to have I guess, control and feel for the ball on the court. I don't know, once the ball starts kind of flying off from the strings a bit too much, a bit too early, I don't like that kind of feeling. I know there are players that play with like, less than 20 kilograms, and I don't know how they do it, to be honest. I mean, you gotta have a lot of feel for that. But I like to string it a bit tighter, yeah.
Novak, final question. We've interviewed many players like this at Wimbledon and now here at the US Open, and everybody's always huffing and puffing, and they talk, but they're Why aren't you doing that?
Why am I not doing what?
You're not huffing and puffing. You're not breathing irregularly. You're so aerobically strong.
Because tennis is so easy for me.
You know how to breathe.
Right there. Very good answer.
That sounds great. So that means we'll talk again tomorrow.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Love it. Thank you, guys.
Novak, thanks for the time. Thanks to your coach, Gorani Denisovic, as well, as he's patiently waited through our chat.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Best of luck, Novak. What a good sport. What a great answer.
Well, he's very relaxed, isn't he? And he's very, the one thing about Novak is he has he pays such attention to detail, doesn't he? I mean, everything has to be perfect for him. From his training to his diet to his sleeping to, everything. And I just, how introspective is this guy, too, with his answers?
I can tell you, Chrissy, he faced the toughest challenge in Cincinnati. Forget about his opponent. He played 4 night matches in cool conditions. It was not warm all week until Saturday. It got a little bit warmer. When he played Saturday night, it still wasn't warm. Then all of a sudden, he plays a late afternoon match on Sunday, his first day match, obviously against a rough opponent, and it was in the high 90s. That is such a tough turnaround. And he looked completely out of gas late in the first set. His ability to be able to manage himself and be able to come back, it's astonishing at 20, let alone 36, what he's able to do there.
Yeah, and what you just said, Brad, managing yourself. I thought it was so interesting in the interview how he was saying, I'm just so excited to get the energy from the city. And we've heard other players saying, like, I've got to manage the energy. And Novak is just embracing it and absorbing all the good vibes he's getting. And you can tell, look how relaxed he was. He was barely breathing, talking with us, and he's ready to go. It's going to be a great 3 weeks for him.
CM, of all these interviews, who's been breathing the heaviest doing this?
Who's breathing heavy? Maria Sakkari today. Sakkari was grunting and
she was trying to grunt and talk.
Rybakina at the same time, right? So you're sending her out there against a huge hitter, number 3 in the world, and telling her to give us an interview. But yeah, Sakkari was. But she's as fit as a fiddle, so that's no.
So Coco's tomorrow. And I'm going to tell you, she comes out of the gate flying. So, it'll be interesting to see how she does. Chrissy, you'd have been perfect for this.
Yeah. Well, anyway, no, I'm just thinking about Novak and thinking about his schedule. I mean, after Wimbledon, he had quite a bit of time off. So that's when he really went home and spent time with his family and just chilled. And yes, he trained and yes, he practiced, but he had quite a bit of time off. So when Cincinnati came around, yeah, it took a lot out of him, but he's still going to be fresh for the US Open. And I think because he has more of a goal now than he ever, he's only won it, I shouldn't say only, but